Look at that photo. You know the one, Natasha Howard flashing the new Commissioner's Cup hardware while half the Lynx faithful stare like they just watched their puppy get drafted by a rival. That single frame is pure nightmare fuel for every keyboard warrior who spent the last month chanting, "Caitlin Clark is overrated." Because in 36 game minutes, the Fever flipped the entire 2025 narrative on its head, and the haters can't decide whether to rage tweet or delete the app entirely. Let's back up. 3 weeks ago, the national conversation was stuck on a loop. Clark's in a sophomore slump. Diana Taurasi was right. The Fever overhyped themselves. You heard it on talk radio, you read it on ESPN lower thirds, you even spotted it in comment sections so toxic they could power a Superfund site. Meanwhile, Caitlin was sitting in street clothes, ankle wrapped tighter than a 90s mixtape, trying to look supportive while everyone outside the locker room prepared her basketball eulogy. Then Tuesday night happened. No Clark, no problem. At least that's how the box score reads. Indiana spotted Minnesota, and early cushion shrugged and detonated an 18-0 haymaker that sucked every last decibel out of target center. Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall splashed threes like they were sponsored by Squirtle. Aaliyah Boston put on a post-clinic. And Natasha, I called my shot Howard, manifested her way straight into a Cup MVP. Final tally, Fever 74, Lynx 59. But the real carnage was the collective credibility of every talking head who had penciled in a Lynx coronation. Speaking of talking heads, we need to pour one out for ESPN's social media intern. Mid-third quarter with Minnesota still up 4, the worldwide leader pushed a Lynx claim Commissioner's Cup headline, complete with confetti emoji. They left it live for the entire fourth quarter, while Indiana was torching the nets like an NCAA regional. Screenshots?
ESPN posted, I think around the third quarter, at least that's when I was notified about it, that the Lynx dominate the Fever to win the Commissioner's Cup. And I took a screenshot. This is totally my screenshot, so I went and I verified this because I just couldn't believe it.
Flooded into orbit. When the buzzer sounded, someone in Bristol finally yanked the post, but by then the damage was done. The internet never forgets, and petty Fever fans never stop screen recording. So what does one neutral site trophy in early July really mean? On paper, it's $500,000 in bonus money and some sparkling rings that will look fabulous in each player's next TikTok. On the floor, it rewires the power dynamic of the entire league. And for Caitlin, who didn't log a single second, it's an answer to the only criticism analysts still had in their back pocket, the dreaded no championships asterisk. Remember the college discourse? Clark rewrote every scoring record, dragged Iowa to back-to-back title games, and still got snubbed from ESPN's top 5 of all time montage because she never cut down the nets. Angel Reese strolled in with one NCAA title, and suddenly the narrative became, Angel's a winner, Caitlin's a stat chaser. Fast forward to 2025, and the scriptwriters are out of excuses. Does the Commissioner's Cup equal a finals banner? No, but it's a playoff-type trophy earned in a pressure cooker against a 14-2 juggernaut. If that doesn't count, neither does Reese's unrivaled crown, especially considering Angel celebrated hers from a couch while her squad finished the job without her. Predictably, the goalposts moved before the confetti hit the hardwood. Haters chirped, "She didn't play, so it's meaningless." Cute. Let's apply that same calculus. Without Clark's 32-point near triple-double in the semifinal against an undefeated Liberty, Indiana's cup run ends before it starts. She dragged them into the final. Her teammates slammed the door. That's called teamwork, foreign concept to folks whose favorite sport is mental gymnastics.
They did win the final without her, but it's not like she's Nikola Topic or anything. The only reason they got to the final was because she had a 32-point near triple-double against the New York Liberty. They beat the previously undefeated New York Liberty after a Caitlin Clark masterclass in a game no one thought they were going to win.
But here's the spicy part. The Fever just proved they can pummel an elite opponent without their superstar. That's a psychological nuke for the rest of the league. It erases the early season wobble, dials the locker room swagger to 11, and most importantly, buys Caitlin as much recovery time as she needs. For 2 solid weeks, we watched her rush back, limp through shoot-arounds, and gut out 28-minute nights because the standings demanded it. Now, she can chill in a compression boot, binge-watch The Bear, and come back when she's 100%. No hero ball required. And when she does return, she'll rejoin a unit that just learned how to win ugly, win on the road, and win under playoff spotlights. Add rookie spark plug Ari McDonald, subtract the drama of Dasha collecting checks Bonner, sprinkle in a front office that suddenly has mid-season trade leverage, and you've got a roster trending from plucky to problem. The Cup was the appetizer. An October parade down Capitol Avenue is the entree the fanbase suddenly believes is possible again. All of this terrifies a certain subset of W players. Those who just voted Clark the 9th best guard in the All-Star player ballot, behind teammates she outperforms nightly. Let's be blunt. That ranking was a message, not an honest assessment. Double teams every possession? Check. Top 10 in points and assists? Yep. But the players' vote screams, we're tired of your spotlight. They wanted to ding her ego while the Fever stumbled.
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting for the All-Star game. The pettiness has no bounds.
Instead, Indiana secured hardware and extended Caitlin's recharge window. Now, everyone who checked 9th on that ballot has to defend the decision while she reloads the highlight cannon.
America loves her. The fans clearly love her. The media likes her. But the players can't stand her. 9th best guard in the league. Don't try to give me the excuses of, well, she's been struggling lately, or she missed some games with injury. Come on. This is insanity. And I think it's an activist vote by the women of the WNBA who simply cannot stand her success. It's so dumb and it's so childish.
Why the hostility? It's the clash between legacy culture and new money fandom. For years, the WNBA subsisted on NBA subsidies and a tight-knit community that celebrated teamwork, social justice, and vibes over TV ratings. Then Clark detonated onto the scene, dragging millions of casual fans who treat sports like Thunderdome and expect ROI on eyeballs. Suddenly, every foul is a clip, every hot take is content, and every attendance record is up for grabs. Players who'd grown comfortable under the radar are now living under a microscope bright enough to sunburn. Some embrace it, some flinch, others lash out at the human embodiment of their new reality. Layer on the economic tension. The league still hemorrhaged over $40 million last season, even with Clark mania, yet a vocal player faction already talks pay raises and potential strikes. NBA vets like Draymond and Steph publicly promote the women's game, while W stars clap back about donations and casino budgets. It's a messy marriage, one partner footing the bills, the other demanding independence without cutting expenses. Into that fray walks a 23-year-old superstar who single-handedly just made a mid-season tournament must-see TV. No wonder the temperature keeps rising. Caitlin sees it, teammates see it. After the cup ceremony, her off-mic comment, "They're sick, we're winning," escaped the broadcast and instantly went viral. That's not paranoia, it's pattern recognition. Look at the last 6 weeks. Flagrant hacks ignored, phantom technicals assessed, endless discourse about welcome to the league physicality. It's open season, and officials often swallow the whistle like they're allergic to oxygen. Expect that to continue. Also, expect Clark to answer with more buckets, because nothing silences a boo bird quite like a logo 3 and a stare down. Which brings us to the Fever's next chapter. Call it Act 3 in the 2025 redemption arc. They've weathered the injury storm, survived the media pile-on, and discovered a bench mob that can outpunch title favorites on national television. The schedule tilts friendlier after the break. 9 of the next 13 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, including winnable sets versus the Mercury, Sparks, and a Sky lineup still reeling from their own drama. Bank 6 or 7 of those, and Indiana isn't just a playoff lock, they're a top 4 seed with home court dreams. Front offices around the league know it too. Rumors are already swirling about veterans dangling for mid-level picks. Indiana holds cap space and future draft capital. If GM Amber Cox finds a defensive-minded wing who can hit corner threes, the Eastern Conference might as well schedule their Cancun vacations early. Because arrested Clark plus a confident supporting cast equals nightly carnage, and ESPN interns triple-checking templates before they click tweet. Will the blowback escalate? Bet your burner account. Every Fever win sparks a fresh conspiracy. Rigged refs, unfair media hype, secret handshake deals with the league office. Ignore the noise. Inside that locker room, they've adopted a simple mantra. More trophies, fewer apologies. And if you think that doesn't resonate with a fan base that spent 2 decades hungering for relevance, ask the thousands who turned Target Center into Carver Hawkeye North on Tuesday. Those fans will travel, they will out-yell, and they will drown out every chorus of boos until the final buzzer.
Let's zoom out. The WNBA's soft civil war, old guard versus new wave, isn't ending this season. Maybe not next season either. But the only battlefield metric that really matters is winning. Advertisers chase winners. TV networks chase ratings that winners generate. Casual fans stick around when the product delivers drama and excellence. Caitlin Clark plus a surging fever provides both in IMAX. So, if rival players are tired of the all-Clark channel, there's a proven solution. Take the crown. Talking heads can't anoint a king if you steal the throne first. Until that happens, Indiana controls the storyline. They just claimed the first available silverware of 2025. The WNBA championship is the next checkpoint, and the path suddenly looks a lot less treacherous. Clark heals, slips back into a lineup now humming like a V8, and the Hate Watch Brigade braces for impact. In the words of every over-caffeinated sports host, buckle up. So yeah, drop your trophy emoji in the comments. The Fever earned theirs on the hardwood. You earned yours by sticking around for 1,800 words of cathartic smack talk. Same time next game, fam. Let's ride this wave till the beach house is paid off and the receipts pile higher than the cup itself.